I've been lucky enough to review a ton of shoes in 2024 so far. I do feel like it's a bit of a boring or a slower year compared to last year. There's some very nice highlights like the Bread Reimagined, like the Military Blue Jordan 4s, the Space Jam Lows, the KD4 Weatherman, with the Nerf coming up as well. But there was some absolute gems that I was not able to get my hands on. So here are the sneakers that I wish I got and I was able to review. Maybe before the end of the year ends, I'm able to get some of these and review it eventually, but who knows? Here we go. First, it is the Air Force 1 Year of the Dragon. That was a China exclusive that originally released for $365. Now this shoe is definitely not for everybody. It is crazy, it is outrageous, but that's also the reason why I really wanted to review it. You see this very intricate textile design on the upper of an Air Force 1 that I really still love. And this shoe is just so nutty. I love dragon designs, obviously. I have a whole dragon tattooed on my arm. You see the tongue that's specially branded as well. That is actually a Chinese character that's often used during Chinese New Year, and that's meant to mean like good fortune or happiness. And it's not just a golden dragon that you see, but it's also like the upper material itself with the very subtle patterns all across the upper. Yeah, I know a lot of people don't like the shoe. I know a lot of people think it's tacky, but for me, I just want to have it in my hand, see what it is in person, just to see how outrageous it is. Next, it is the New Balance 1906R Rosewater. That is a collaboration with Action Bronson. First dropped on May 31st for $170. The Nike and Jordan brand has Travis Scott, and New Balance, they have Action Bronson. His collaborations with New Balance are super popular, sells out pretty much instantly every single time. And if you didn't know, 1906 is actually the year that New Balance was founded, and it actually just restocked again so people could get it again. I missed out again. Now I will admit, it's not like I love the 1906R, but this colorway in particular, I think it's pretty nice. It's pretty wild, it's pretty bold. I do think this colorway is slightly better than the Medusa colorway that also dropped as part of that collaboration. And this shoe uses an Activa Light midsole, and the Activa Light midsole is actually 24% lighter than standard foam that they use. Outsole looks pretty funky as well. It uses their Stability Web outsole that is meant for better arch support. And of course, you see branded tongues and insoles. I don't know if I'm the type of person that can pull this shoe off effectively, but I think this colorway, even though it's super loud, super bright, you definitely notice it on feet. I think it's still pretty nice, and it's a shoe that I haven't reviewed before, so I want to expand the variety of shoes that I review. So I think maybe before the end of the year, I'll still get my hands on it just to get it on feet, in hand, just to see how it looks, and maybe I'll review it then. Next, it is the Air Force 1 Linen that dropped on June 13th for $135. Now, this shoe is a legend. It first dropped in 2001 as part of the Concept Japan series that was exclusive to the Japanese market. And in 2016, it was a kit collaboration. The shoe has always been pretty limited, so very hard to get. I definitely did not have the money back then to get this shoe. And this shoe, if you grew up in a certain generation, a certain era, it was definitely a grail. It sold out very quickly this time around again. And for whatever reason that I can't actually answer myself, I still haven't gotten it. Why? Actually, I might have to do that right after this video. It's not super expensive to get on the resale market. Yeah, I'm definitely getting this shoe. I love Air Force 1s. This colorway is so nice. It is so elegant. The leather looks to be better than like general lace Air Force 1s. Definitely won't be the most comfortable shoe like any Air Force 1 are. They're very boxy, very stiff, but the Air Force 1 is timeless. It is a classic. And this colorway, for people that grew up the same time as me or maybe slightly older, oh, it's an absolute grail. It is an absolute grail. This is definitely a shoe that I will get before the year ends. Maybe I'll review it, maybe not, but I do need it in my collection to fulfill those childhood dreams. Next up, it is the McDonald's All-American Adidas AE1 that originally dropped on March 29th for $120. Now, the AE1 is definitely one of the best sneakers to drop, not just basketball sneaker, just one of the best sneakers to drop in 2024. I don't feel like they've missed on any colorway. I reviewed the Stormtrooper, I've got the charcoal in hand. That's my favorite colorway of all colorways that have dropped. Actually, maybe the Team USA colorway might be up there as well. But this one is special. Super limited, it was a Foot Locker exclusive, so very hard to get, and you'll see mismatched colors on the left and right shoe, with McDonald's branding on the pull tab, as well as the tongue that is custom branded as well. And the AE1 features Jet Boost as well as Light Strike. I think the silhouette actually works casually as well as on the court as well. That's pretty rare for basketball shoes nowadays. It is just an absolute highlight. And there was a time when basketball ruled my life. That's all I could think about. That's all I cared about. I would watch every single McDonald's All-American game. I didn't grow up in the US, so I had to wait for someone to upload it onto YouTube. I'm not sure if that was allowed or not, but it never got taken down. And those are just such fond memories. And this colorway, even though I don't think it's the best, but I still really want it. Part of it is that kind of limited exclusivity, but all 81 colorways I want. I can't get every single one of them, but this one's special and I do want it in my rotation. Not sure if I'm willing to pay like $600 that it's going for on the resale market, so it's probably gonna escape me, but maybe one day. Next, it is the Nina Chanel Abney Jordan 3 that originally dropped on June 20th for $225. Now, when images of this shoe first released, I was like, I need it. I need it no matter what. But then the more I looked at it, for whatever reason, I just love it less and less. Still really like it, but not as much as I did when I initially first saw images. I was like, oh, this tickles my sneaker hormones. I needed that shoe. But then up close, I just see that canvas overlaid on the suede. There's something about it that just doesn't look quite right. And I also feel like that hairy suede with that shade of green just kind of looks like grass. A bit too close to grass anyway. But I do really like the creativity. I like how different it is, especially that branded booty. I think that's probably the most distinct thing of the shoe. The rope laces are nice as well. I still really appreciate this shoe in general, but compared to when I first saw it, it was like up here. Now it's like up here. Still enough to make this list, but compared to her first collaboration, the Jordan 2, I think this is definitely a big improvement. And at number 3, it is the Jordan 17 Low Lightning that dropped on May 30th for $300. And I can't believe I never got this shoe. I can't believe I still don't have this shoe. What am I doing? Now, this is the colorway and shoe that Michael Jordan wore in the 2002 All-Star game. It also does come with that briefcase that it also came with when it first dropped. And you see that very sleek chrome heel counter. Always loved how that looked. The outsole is very nice as well. I will say it's not like I'm a huge fan of the Jordan 17 silhouette, but this is where when Nike goes back, brings back a shoe that they haven't just shoved down our throats over and over again, it gets people excited. I was excited for the shoe. I don't love the Jordan 17s, but I don't see it often, so I got excited. Now, even though I missed on this shoe, there's an upcoming Jordan 17 UNC, and I swear, if I don't get my hands on that as a UNC blue lover, bad things are gonna happen. I will just cry or something. And at number 2, it is the Futura Labs Nike SB Dunk that dropped on May 22nd for $135. This shoe, the more I look at it, the more it gets me excited. If I was more of a SB Dunk fan, I think this would be number 1. But because I'm not, this is number 2. But the way this is designed, oh, it's beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. The design of those overlays with a slightly bleached base layer, with that oh so juicy and delicious icy outsole with his signature across, branded tongues, branded insoles. Just, yeah, before the year ends, I'm gonna have to get this shoe. I just need it. There are some SB Dunk collaborations that are just must have each year. Last year for me was the Born and Raised and the Doritos, and this year, so far, this is definitely one of them. And this wasn't even the nicest one. There was a friends and family colorway that is just, yeah, that's crazy. I love that shoe. Yeah, I need to be friends and family with that guy. And at number 1, it is the Jordan 3 J Balvin that dropped on May 22nd for $250. This is his latest collaboration with Jordan Brand. His previous one was also the Jordan 3 that was inspired by Medellin, Colombia, his hometown. This one is dedicated to his son, Rio, and as a black sneaker lover and as a Jordan 3 lover, couldn't put this anywhere but number 1. Now, I will admit, I'm not like a huge fan of his like insignia, that smiley face. Just a little bit too happy for my personality, so I don't love that. But the colors on this shoe, and it looks to be very nice materials. It is $250, so at best be. But this is just right up my alley. This black sneaker on a very wearable Jordan 3. The gradient midsole might be a bit too much, but I think it actually is pretty well executed. This is one of those shoes where originally it was maybe here, it just kept climbing here, and now it's number 1 on shoes that I wish I had reviewed. I missed out on the previous J Balvin Jordan 3, and I don't think before the year ends, I'm able to miss out on another one. I just cannot. So that's it. Thanks for watching. So inclined. Let me know what shoes I should have put on this list, what shoes I forgot, and what shoes on this list that you really like. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come, so wear your shoes.